Well, everyone, welcome. We are so sorry we are late, but we are here finally. Welcome to season 2 of Cultish. Y'all see, we got a new opening. Y'all see the opening? We got a new
opening. Wait. Everybody out here looking good.
I'm dead. Okay, I said, go ahead, black people. Go ahead. We are here, y'all. We are here. We're so glad y'all are tuned in. Share this from multiple pages. Share from your page. We're on Facebook. We are on, we're not on Instagram tonight or Twitter. They made some changes, but we are on Facebook and YouTube. So share. And we're going to get this show on the road. We know we are a little bit late, but hey, drop up. Once you guys share this, put it in the comments and show us some love. We ain't seen y'all in a little while. We want to say hello, and welcome. Those of you that are first timers, welcome to Cultish. We're so glad to see y'all, okay? We are here. I'm so excited for season 2, y'all. Like, season 1 did great things, so here we are. We back again. Guess who's back?
And once again, this song.
Period. So, y'all.
I think they sent my direct deposit from season 1. You might want to check on that.
Oh, you still ain't get it? I'll call production.
Hold on to God's unchanging hand.
Lord. So, y'all share this video. Everybody's asking me where the video is now, but we are here. And the people's like, where y'all at? I'm like, we here. Ooh, we done lost Sean. We done lost him. Come back, Sean. Come back.
He faded to black, huh?
He done faded to black. I don't know what happened. Y'all know Sean is known to have all of these issues.
It wasn't even really him this time.
No.
He's gonna get together one of these days.
One of these days, y'all. Oh, there he is. There you go. Okay, maybe not. Oh, boom. And he back.
Hey, back.
He back like cooked crack.
Oh my.
I don't know if that's a
I'm definitely trying to make a fool out of me.
I don't know if that's a good reference to use.
Yeah, I don't know about that right there.
Right. Okay. But nonetheless, we back.
We in here.
So, y'all, we've been away for a little while. I think the last time we saw y'all was Juneteenth, if I'm not mistaken. So we done did the whole summer and all that jazz, and bam, we back. I'm gonna just keep saying that because that's the official word of tonight. Well, phrase, we back. Okay, we got a lot to catch up on. Again, y'all, drop in the comments. We want to see what you're saying. We want to engage with you. We want to interact and all of that great stuff. So tell us what you're doing, where you at, where you from, where you watching from, all that great stuff. Egypt, why don't you tell us what you've been up to? What's been going on? What's the 411, son? What's the 411? I don't know why I have this rap thing.
It's okay. It's all right. Hey, Erica Boo. So, I mean, summer ended its magical life on us, and I had to return to my muggle life. It's a Harry Potter reference for some of you who don't know. In the summer, I am something like a wizard, okay? Something like it. But I had to go back to my muggle life. So I'm back in the classroom, back in front of y'all babies who everybody was so concerned about their learning loss. Baby, they lost their social skills loss. Y'all talk to y'all kids, okay? All right. That's all I got.
Okay, they lost social skills. Oh, okay.
That's all I got, Fred. That's what I've been doing. I've been teaching and sleeping. That's it. Okay. And starting last Friday, I've been binging cheesy Hallmark Christmas movies. But that's all I got.
Yeah, go ahead with that.
Yeah, that's all I got. They got another one of the littles is coming out. That's the Christmas series with
Kelly Rowland.
Kelly Rowland.
She pregnant in this one. It's a merry little Christmas that she has.
A merry little Christmas.
It's gonna be cute, girl. It's gonna be cute, cheesy. I love it.
Oh, okay.
Judge your mamas. I like Hallmark. Judge your mamas.
That's fine. Danny, what happened with you over the summer?
Well, I'm in school. I'm yet collecting degrees, so I passed certain tests. I've been in school, working. Really trying to prepare because I'm an administrator, so we don't ever quite get a break. Again, like my sister Egypt, we're really trying to make sure our kids are on task. I had a bit of a break, and I just did a bunch of nothing. I went to sleep. I had to rest because I don't never get rest for the weary. So I slept very well. I am excited about being back with everybody. There's so much to share, so many ways that we can make connections. And I'm looking forward to the season that we'll have together. So y'all, thank you for rocking with us and get ready for some good conversation.
Yes,
And it'll be
indeed.
great. I'm excited. Deshaun? Sean?
Well, as y'all might know, this has been the year of Deshaun Simmons, and it's all about me.
Yes, it is.
I think I mentioned it during Juneteenth that I was in a transition. I didn't say what that was, but now I can say it. I joined Egypt over at Chicago Public Schools. And we somebody, so we weren't concerned about nothing being lost. Because whatever you lost, we gonna bring it back.
Hello.
So I had that going on. I transitioned, and then I graduated. Well, the actual ceremony was like October 9th, but I finished in June.
Okay.
And then, I had to come off my high because I was getting real overstimulated. So I had to end it with my birthday because there was a lot going on.
I had to come off my high.
Yeah, I had to come off. It was too much going on. But yeah, we rocking and rolling. I'm back on the west side, Education is education everywhere. So
it sure is, but that's the ministry over there on that 290 side. Stop playing.
Yeah.
Not for real.
Well, we got it.
You sure do. You sure do. God know where he put folks. I'm in the wild. You in the west side. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
My Lord.
We where we belong.
That's right. That's okay. Listen, it's all right. As long as you know where you're supposed to be.
That's right.
That's right. DK, what's been happening?
What's up, everybody? I've been breathing, which is, at the end of the day, a huge accomplishment in the world that we're in. But other than that, I got to go home back to Arkansas, see family, and then I spent quite some time between Miami and Palmetto Bay. So I spent some time there and got away. It felt good to be near water and sun and all that kind of good stuff. And Miami is a whole, I don't know if you've ever been, but it's a whole experience in itself.
It's a vibe.
And I feel like me and Miami have another joint to do, with each other. So hopefully I get there real soon. But that, and then just preparing like my other two, three educators. Well, hell, everybody on here educator. Just getting ready for the school year. I knew it was going to be a uphill battle, but I just didn't know. I don't think we all knew. It's strange in these school hallways, y'all.
It's different.
It is.
No, it's different.
It is different, and I don't think people realize it. But I told one counselor in particular, if you thought these kids were going to come back with better behavior, you might as well hang up your all of that stuff, because it's going to be interesting, but we're going to make it.
We're going to make it.
Also, to add to that, I think, I don't know about anybody else, but I didn't come back with any unrealistic expectations either.
That's it.
It's like you got to get ahead of the game. I got ahead of what was to come. That way I was prepared. So by the time you get to what point I'm at, I'm already 10 steps ahead of you. So it was just being prepared.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's been up with me.
Well, that's what's up. Well, my family and myself, we had kind of deemed this summer the summer of celebrations. Last y'all heard was, I think the last time we were all together on June, before the pre-Juneteenth party that we had here, I was actually preparing for a Juneteenth party, which was pretty epic. It was a time.
It was a time, honey. A time.
I'm still getting phone calls from friends months later that was like, your party was something. So,
Wait, no, I wasn't clear with some of my pictures and posts. I'm getting emails and requests like, can you give me the pricing for that venue you was at for the Juneteenth party? I'm like, that's somebody's house.
Somebody's house.
It's not a venue.
Listen, I apologize to everybody that I offended in my higher enlightenment and some body parts that may have been shown. I really do apologize for all of that, but I blame Frederick.
Listen, my thing is I want folks to have a good time like I have a good time. So that was my whole purpose of that.
A good time was had, baby. A good time was had. Let me tell you people something. Get you some friends like Frederick Alfonso, honey. Who gets invited to somebody else's party and makes $92?
Now, you was a good bartender, and let me tell you why you make the 92, because I was in there. That was all right.
It was all bad. It was bad. And my aunt, who was the other bartender, she walked out with like $100-some as well. I was like, well, at least
all right.
The people aren't cheap.
The people were okay. You hear
y'all
me?
was there making money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
paid for a good time. We would tip.
Fred said, Egypt, I want you behind that bar for at least an hour. I'm just your local kitchen bartender, okay? Ain't never took no class. Matter of fact, I'll be mixing stuff together and swear I created something, and then I go someplace and they be like, that's an old fashioned. It's been around for 6,000 years. And I be like, oh, it tastes good to me. I don't know what I'm doing, but I know what I like to mix together and what tastes good. So I got behind that bar for an hour. Drunk folks was like, tip the bartender. And I was like, that's me. Yeah, tip the bartender.
I was the drunk folks.
I didn't even know that's what was going down. But, I looked around and somebody drunk had took a red cup and sat it on the counter like, tips go here. And I was like, yeah.
And brother Dave was right. He was the MC now.
Dave was the MC. Dave had MC'd my party. I would have thought we was at the legendary ball on HBO Max because he had called out 2001, 2002, 2000. Come and get your shots.
Get your shots, okay?
So my birthday party kind of kicked off the summer, and it was a time. And from there, went to Miami. DK, I was in Miami in July. Went with some friends for Miami Swimsuit Fashion Week, which was a time. So summer has been pretty great. Other than that, just been creating some stuff on the low. The world is opening back up. The world is just about open back up. Broadway's back open. So I am, of course, preparing to work on stuff that deals with the stage and the theater and all that great stuff. So, but other than that, it's been a dope summer. Had some other great celebrations along the way. Sean had a great event on Juneteenth as well. Sean, how did your event go?
Oh, it was amazing. Everybody showed up. We were dancing in the streets, literally. Sold train lines and flags and shirts and libations and foods and cousins and aunties and uncles.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to do it even bigger this time. Hopefully we'll do something together next year. Well, your birthday is that week, right?
No, my birthday is June 7th. So
okay, yeah, you don't have to do two celebrations, so we can do this together.
I was watching the city of Chicago when our Puerto Rican brothers and sisters was celebrating their Independence Day not too long ago. Listen. And when I tell you they had the streets locked for the whole weekend.
Listen, I enjoyed all of it.
I wasn't upset about it. Not people.
Let me tell you something. And I know I'm probably going too far to the episode. Ain't nothing gonna top January 6th. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
That's how you feel.
You go ahead.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say that nothing's gonna top Black History Month because
that's what I was thinking.
I'm gonna get my Juneteenth flag and ride around in the car, baby, during Black History Month.
I need a flag.
I got a secret.
Have a good
I got
time.
the expressway with my flag, and it flew out the window on 290.
That means you let your window down a little bit too much.
They in stock now.
I don't know. It slipped right out that little crack. I bought another one since then, but yeah, that's what happened.
Yes, Dave, for a whole month.
Yeah, for the whole month.
Practice the month of February so that we blow it out in June so we get it right. Practice.
Blow it out.
Blow it out.
Better blow it out.
Blow it out. Blow it out.
I might give gifts. I ain't giving Christmas gifts this year. What you want for Juneteenth?
Yes, you should make that the new
I
Christmas.
want some of that Kente oil.
That's what I'm gonna get you some. I'm gonna
just
get
want
you
a shea butter
some.
baby.
Yeah.
Shea
And
butter.
the Juneteenth shine. Shoot.
I'm
Yeah.
hollering.
Juneteenth, the new Christmas. Put that on the books.
That's it. Put it in the
No,
book.
that's listen.
Let's
Juneteenth,
celebrate.
New Christmas. I'm here for it. I like it. I
Because
like
you people ain't said nothing about the birth of my Savior when you celebrate Christmas now way.
No.
So you might as well just give me a gift on Juneteenth because I don't know what you celebrating in December nan way.
And he could have been born in June.
Yeah, look here, Danny. Look
I
here.
don't know.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
don't argue with the seasons. I'm arguing with the people who be out here celebrating. They celebrate nothing about the Christ.
Yeah. But we're gonna table that to get on back to the show.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Right.
All right. My bad.
You good. It's all right.
That's good.
Well, I'm glad
I'm
everybody
enjoying
had a dope summer. I'm super proud of everybody's accomplishments, Deshaun and DK and Danny and Egypt, like all of us. We did some great stuff during the summer. So yeah, so we're back, y'all. We done took off the summer, so here we are. We didn't give you no summer season, but you finna get a fall season, and
Hey.
we'll give you a couple more episodes in 3. So
We got you. We got you. This time.
what was the name of Issa's company?
We got y'all.
We got y'all. So, in those
I thought
words.
you was going new with the Blow CC.
Yeah, blow.
Not yet.
Block.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Too
That
soon.
was hilarious.
Too soon. Too soon. So we're gonna jump into tonight's show, but before that, we got a quick word from our sponsor, and then we'll be right back. It's literally like a couple of seconds, and we're gonna jump right into our show. So enjoy this right quick.
What happens when everything we know about something changes?
I tell people all the time, this is the best American story you never heard.
We're out hitting the pavement, talking to restaurants, talking to bars.
I don't think of myself as a whiskey salesperson. I want you to know his name.
Drink by drink, we're bringing this story to light.
When we have to step back through the pages of history.
It's so much more than whiskey. It's so much more than a brand. It's a movement.
When we have to make amends and pay respect.
We're honoring the greatest whiskey maker the world never knew. And it's beautiful.
And give credit where credit is due.
Uncle Nearest is the godfather of Tennessee whiskey, and the world needs to know it.
What happens? We do it. Uncle Nearest, it's more than whiskey.
All right. You know, this show is typically sponsored by whiskey, and actually, I'm not drinking any tonight, and that's okay. But ooh, somebody got a little Teddy Riley happening. Hold on.
Ooh.
Hold on. All right. So jumping on in, y'all. Chicagoans, those that are in here from Chicago, you all know that we are they have renamed the Lakeshore Drive. And DK, you want to go on and explain a little bit of that, and I'm gonna piggyback with you.
Well, Lakeshore Drive, also known when I moved to Chicago, somebody said, "Oh, you take LSD," and I was like, "I don't take LSD." But they meant Lakeshore Drive. And I was like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." But everyone knows forever that area has been called Lakeshore Drive, and so there was a meeting with our elect officials to name it after John Baptiste DuSable. And did I say that correct? John Baptiste DuSable. Yes. And they went literally back and forth if they were just going to name it John Baptiste DuSable Drive or going to have it Lakeshore Drive, John Baptiste DuSable, whatever. And so they finally came to the consensus to give it all of the names. So Lakeshore Drive has about like 5 middle names before it gets to Drive. And so, yeah, that's where we are. And so I heard somebody's GPS say that whole name before, and I said, we about downtown now by the time it got finished saying all them names. So Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting. What's crazy is Alderman David Moore, who is the alderman in my grandmother's area. I believe it's the 17th ward, where Saint Sabina is. He actually was responsible for that, for getting that project rolling and whatnot. And so, shout out to him. He is a good alderman, unlike some of the aldermen that I do know, but he is a super great alderman. And so I find it super crazy. I'm still kind of stuck on the Ida B. Wells renaming as well. I was driving one day and the GPS I had got off of
Yeah,
what I thought was Congress Parkway, and it was like Ida B. Wells. I was like,
Wells. Yeah, they kind of changed that one during the night, Fred, because it caught me off guard too when I was going downtown.
Yeah,
it did catch me off guard.
Yeah, and I'm gonna kind of tie the two together because I feel like this. I really feel like we with these streets being renamed, which I'm happy for our African American brothers and sisters that are getting these streets renamed after themselves, and they're not just honorary streets. When I was coming up, you had 51st and State is honorary Lewis Body Street, and every pastor had their name. DK, I'm sure 75th is going to be soon John Hanna Parkway eventually. So it's just the thing. Egypt, I think over there on Wabash, it is Otis Anderson Drive.
Wabash is Otis L. Anderson Avenue. It is indeed.
I'm certain. And Sean, I know over at your home church on Jackson in that little block.
Nancy B. Jefferson.
Come on, Nancy.
It's just the thing. I don't know. We're used to the honorary street names, but so to see these public figures and to see these people who did great things in this city get an actual street name, I think is super dope. However, I just really my question is, why did it take so long, and why now? Why is it such a thing? As well as so it's like a two-part question. Sean, I know you're ready to dive in.
You know it.
The other part of the question is why did DuSable get this whole ceremony, and Ida B. Wells, like Sean just said, it kind of happened in the middle of the night. You were going down 290 one day, and the signs just appeared the next day. But DuSable, Lakeshore Drive, had a whole ceremony like last week Saturday. Like people was out there, they literally like unveiled the signs. I was like, I don't remember this being on the news for Ida B. Well. I just don't. They just kind of, yeah. Oh, that's right, Danny. It is the Tuskegee Airman. Tuskegee Airman Highway is 57 now. That's right. They did change that as well.
Wait, what? Really? Oh, it sure is.
Yeah, and they did that ceremony in the middle of the 2 a.m.
Yeah, we didn't know nothing about it. I would have got there with my flag, talking about some. This is monumental.
If I had to guess, I would say the Chicago and the Illinois connection with John Baptiste DuSable made it so much more of a big thing. I'm not sure, but I don't believe Ida B. Wells has that much Chicago, Illinois connection. You know what I mean?
Is she not from Chicago?
He technically founded.
Right, John Baptiste DuSable founded.
The others will argue that he actually stole that piece of land that's east of Lakeshore Drive.
I mean, so
he
what?
actually conquered that. So that's a whole nother story in itself. Yeah.
So we know there's the Jean Baptiste Pot DuSable Museum.
Yes.
Right.
I think that's the whole name, or I might have it backwards or something like that. But so we do know that there's a museum over in Washington Park, and which has actually yet to reopen. All the other museums have reopened, and DuSable has not.
The inside's not open for viewing.
It is not.
They have thrown multiple events though out.
They have had. They have definitely had private events for sure, okay. But they are not open for basically going in for exhibits. From what I was told as of yesterday.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so that's the only thing I really knew of Jean Baptiste DuSable. And honestly, to be honest, the museum does not have a lot about him. They just have a lot of I just call it the African American Museum of Chicago, basically. It's like the mini Smithsonian.
No, real talk. The Harold Washington portion goes much harder than the DuSable portion of the museum goes. Why is her name falling out of my head? Oh Lord, my child goes to that school. The Gwendolyn Brooks exhibit goes harder than the DuSable exhibit. So you would be correct. It is a smaller DuSable kind of exhibit there at the museum, but it is an African American museum. So
okay, DK just gave us some information.
Knowledge.
So, DK just dropped some knowledge and gave us that Ida B. Wells is actually from Holly Springs, Mississippi. And she died here in Chicago. So I wonder what her work was that they was so.
Well, she was the first Rosa Parks, and that happened on a train.
Oh,
so
and she was
they actually put her off the train. She actually got put off.
Yeah, and she was a founding member of the National Association for the Advancement of Color People.
She was indeed, and she was an advocate, writer, and reporter about lynching. She went from end to end of this country exposing lynchings, and we're talking early 1900s though. So we're not talking, because everybody likes to think about lynchings and think 1875, 1890. No, we talking 1910 and 12. She round there spreading word, making sure people know that there's foolishness.
And if she was still alive, she would still probably be reporting that, because it's still going on.
Oh my God.
It's still happening. It's still happening. Okay, well, yeah. So, all right, as we're moving, well, we are great that we are excited and grateful that they have named these streets, but we just want.
Well, now here's the real question, though, Chicagoans. Talking to my castmates and those listening with us, y'all gonna do the drive like y'all do the Sears Tower? Because I ain't never called it Willis.
No.
I still call it LSD. No one's saying that. That's a mouthful of words.
And in case anybody didn't know this, it's not even called Willis Tower anymore. It doesn't even have a name currently.
It's the Sears Tower. That's what I call it.
It's the Sears Tower.
It's the Sears Tower. And I said just like that, Sears Tower.
What y'all call the Sox Park? Guaranteed rate.
Sox Park.
That's Comiskey.
Oh, okay. Because we don't never change.
U.S. Sailor Field. That's what it's called.
It's for the sale.
I'm sorry. I'm old. My daddy took me to baseball games as a kid. No. I'm old, and my daddy took me to baseball games as a kid. That's Comiskey.
Comiskey. That's right.
Wow. True.
Comiskey are White Sox. I ain't never called it the U.S. Sale.
I'm definitely not going to call it no guaranteed rate field. That don't even feel good. What is that?
First of all, guaranteed rate seems like a bank that charge Black people a 50% interest rate. So we not gonna call it that.
Just something about the name sound like they got it out for.
It's just supremacist.
It tastes like mayonnaise.
Guaranteed rate. If you want to give me some money, I don't think like them. I like mayonnaise.
Not mayonnaise.
I like aioli. I'm fancy.
Oh yeah, that's a fancy mayonnaise.
Fancy.
What kind of mayonnaise you like, Danny?
I like Hellman's.
It's got to be Dukes.
Hellman's is tangy. I don't like that.
Have you had olive oil?
It's the olive oil for me.
That's the good one. They got an avocado oil one too. It's pretty good.
Well, I'll try that next. I'm sorry, Fred. What's next on our list? We didn't hit
the mayonnaise, but
we're still talking Chicago, so we're good. We're still talking Chicago
together, so we're gonna keep talking.
Right. It's been a while. So still talking Chicago. The Chicago Sky won the WNBA championship, y'all.
Yes, let's give it up,
baby.
Which was like epic. Like the fact that there was a lot of tweets and a lot of Facebook messages about Candace Parker doing what LeBron James should have done, which was leave and then come back and win a championship the first year. So because LeBron went back to Cleveland and did not win nothing, and then went to LA and won. So yeah. Little humor for you.
I do have a question about the WNBA. How long is the career span for the athletes? I think Candace Parker's career has been long, right?
She's done well. She has done well.
Yeah, she's done well.
I want to say she's been in the league 12 years.
Right. You're right. And I think she has done a phenomenal job. I wonder, do anybody kind of honor, just her commitment to the game and how well she has sustained. I mean, that's just amazing.
Yeah.
So I wondered about that.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
she's
sure.
somebody's mama. 13 years.
Wow, that's and playing hard and heavy.
Wait. I know, I'm sorry. I know it's 2021, and some people might not like this, but she pretty while she do it too.
She is.
She is so beautiful to me. She just gorgeous.
And how many D Rose played what?
Don't wait now. I love him too. Wait now. Be easy. Be easy.
I'm just saying, look at the comparison.
The Bulls are doing good right now.
Okay, yeah. It's actually, I feel like it's about the same amount of time. Actually,
her longevity and accomplishments.
It's amazing.
The way that D Rose has been, and then comparison to Candace, like we got to do better, y'all. Candace was out here whooping ass.
She was.
She's on
Chicago let D Rose leave. It wasn't him. They front always messing up. So.
That front office is trash, but we still keep supporting Bulls all the way.
Right.
But the Bulls currently have a young rookie who graduated from the illustrious Morgan Park High School, sitting on 111th and Vincennes, and Ayo DeSumo, baby, is a Chicago Bull.
Well, go ahead. I don't know nothing about that.
That's my little baby alumni. Yep. He came out of Morgan Park, went to Champaign-Urbana, shook it up down there, and got drafted on back to the Bulls.
Yeah, he did.
Go ahead.
So
also, while we're talking about Chicago, did anybody see Chance the Rapper shouting on stage with Sonya Blakey on Instagram?
Was he?
No, what was this?
It was hilarious. I don't know. I just scrolled and saw it.
Was it at the gospel
Sonya
fest?
Blakey, DeAndre Patterson.
Here's the question. Was he on the 2 and 4?
No. He was not. He was more like on the 7 and a 11. Yeah,
it was sick, baby. It was sick, baby.
His worship is for real.
It was like his internet was cutting in and out.
Oh, you go ahead.
Yeah, it was kind of like a.
It was legit.
And then Jonathan McReynolds tried to get him on beat, but he couldn't catch it.
David said he was on 1 foot. He had the 1 foot praise.
As long as God understood.
That's all.
Listen. That's all. That's it. That's all.
Who am I?
Right. Yolanda said he had a praise. I love it.
I'm gonna praise. Go ahead. Now, who was this Chance the Rapper?
Yeah, we love Chance. Chance is to me. Chance is very. And as a matter of fact, he's actually, I believe, part owner of the Chicago Sky.
Yes, because he spoke at the rally.
Yeah.
Well, okay then, Chance.
And Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I did know Michelle had a stake.
Mother Daniels from Milwaukee. He's something like her.
My Lord.
Yeah, he's something like her, but it's just with the WNBA and not the NBA. But she's sanctified. She's Kojic.
Who's this we're speaking of?
The Brewers.
Yeah,
is that the Milwaukee Bucks?
The Bucks.
The manager of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah,
Evangelist somebody. I forgot her name.
Yeah,
what's her name?
Cedric Daniels' sister. I forgot her name.
So she got her little stake with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh yeah. Right. Sister's a millionaire. In fact, I think she's a billionaire, if I'm not mistaken.
Come on, Black wealth is on the rise, y'all. And it's on the cut up.
And then speaking on Black wealth, and I know I didn't throw this in our promo, but in our notes for tonight. But speaking on Black wealth, a couple weeks ago, Jay-Z and Beyonce were on fire for the Tiffany's ad and whatnot.
Yeah, that was nice.
Sean's wearing his HBCU shirt, and DK went to a HBCU, and Jay-Z and Beyonce, they had told Tiffany's, in order for us to do this ad, you've got to match these donations, and Tiffany's had to donate.
You know what? I'm so glad I follow people's trends about Beyonce and Jay-Z. They were saying they was from a cult and they was in the Illuminati. I think they're good people.
You can be a luminous all you want to. It said let this little light of man shine.
And stay in the Illuminati.
The Bible's Illuminati.
Did she say an illuminist?
What?
She did.
The Bible said, "Let my light shine." Y'all coming against them.
Illuminate. Well,
Let your
No,
light
for
shine.
real. I don't
Y'all,
give it no money.
it's only
Uh-huh.
Tuesday.
It's only Tuesday. It's literally only
I,
Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. It's literally only Tuesday.
Sean, I would agree with you too. I feel like some people just wake up in the morning and choose to dislike people because there
They
is
choose
a
it. And they're
spotlight
trying
on them.
to find.
Because I
Yep.
can't, like I always say, I tell people all the time, because I tell my babies, I teach music, y'all. I tell my babies all the time, I'm not in the beehive because I ain't crazy. But I ain't got no beef against Bianca. That girl is good. The
Yeah.
girl is good. You hear me?
I like how they invest in
Yeah.
us.
I have no beef with it. I can't find bad information about Beyonce. I can't find stories where Beyonce did something horrible or terrible. Like everything that's out there about her is about giving back, is about empowering somebody, the music, what she does philanthropy wise. And I just feel like folks just wake up ready to hate. Now, I will say she's been playing the same role, Foxy Cleopatra, in every movie she takes, but we gonna get her some acting lessons. It could get better. It would, but she'll sing you down.
She will.
Yeah.
You
She
can't
will.
I
match
love that
them
Super
runs
Bowl.
and them rips. You can't sing your own 4 parts in your background. You can't put your own bass line down and a soprano.
Wait,
No, you can't.
wait a minute. Wait
Well,
a minute, because Mark
I
Gaye did. He sung 6 parts.
He's
not
no
talking about
longer here. I'm currently
talking
talking about these folks that they keep trying to compare to Bianca.
no,
Leave
he's
the
no
girl
longer here.
alone.
It's the fact that you calling her Bianca was taking me
Oh,
down. I'm here for
yeah,
it.
we call her Bianca
You
for
know,
that.
we applaud they, giving, and I feel like that when I go to the Dollar Tree, because I pay for the people behind me. This whole row, I got them. But I look back to make sure they ain't got a whole crowd. I got this whole row. I dropped that $32. Can't tell me I ain't the shit.
Let me bless these people.
Listen, I got another stone in my
You
crown
better
because
be
I
out
bless
here paying
everybody
it
that's at Dollar
forward.
Tree. But
You
not no
better
more
be.
because Dollar Tree is now going to have $2 and $3 stuff.
I heard
Yeah.
that. I
It's
did
Dollar
read
Tree
that.
Plus.
I was
I'm
about to say,
like,
they need to change the name to Dollar Tree Plus then.
who
Yeah.
decided that foolishness?
You know
Well,
what?
you know, the Dollar Tree is owned by
Family Dollar,
yeah,
Dollar General, one of them.
Yeah, one of them. And so
First of
they're
all-
gonna start selling stuff for like $5. So my aunt in all the way in West Memphis, Arkansas, calls me at 6 in the morning and said, "Hey, I was thinking about you." It's 6:30. Okay. You better go on and go to the dollar store before they raise the prices.
Yeah, that's good thinking, Auntie. I'm with her.
I'm finna go out there.
She's concerned.
They don't open until 9, ma'am.
Yeah.
Mama was standing in line at 5.
Yeah.
She was like,
Yeah.
With nobody out there.
If
Like,
you need a Dollar Tree on Vermont and 127, catch me Saturday. If you're gonna get
That's a good one.
after Saturday, because rates is going up. So if you need to get your toothpaste and your little generic medication, come Saturday about 9:30 a.m. and I got you. Everybody behind me. 3 people back though, but everybody behind me.
not 3 people.
3 people back.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I love every second of it.
Oh,
Yeah, we are y'all. Again, this is our season opener. For those of you that are just joining, we're so glad you're here. Thank you for tuning into Cultish. Those of you that are commenting and engaging with us, we see you. We are reading your stuff. I am laughing. It's a hoot. Please continue to engage and comment with us as we are continuing to move this train along. Y'all, last week, social media has something every week that is hilarious to me. And I really feel like there's a line in the film where they say in the news and in the news back in the day in the newspapers, they say you're here today, you're gone tomorrow. The story doesn't necessarily last longer than a day, maybe 2 days. But y'all, let me tell you something. It's been a week and a half, and social media is still throwing up these damn red flags.
Hey, what does that mean?
So, first of all, I am one of the people that is still on Twitter. So when social media crashed 2 weeks ago, we lost Egypt. Egypt popped back in if you can. When social media crashed 3 weeks ago, Instagram and Facebook. For those of you that don't know, Facebook owns Instagram and WhatsApp and Messenger. Facebook separated the Messenger, which is why you need a whole nother app to access the messenger portion of Facebook. Those of us that have been on here since back in the day, those of us that have college email addresses as our logins.
That's right.
It was a time where we were able to just basically do everything from one place. And now you got to have the app to do it. And it's like, you don't have the app to. But it is what it is. And so now Facebook, they own those 3 entities. And so all of those entities were down. And so I felt so bad for the people that make their money on Instagram, that go live and they do this or that promote. Like, I know Carlton Banks probably got hit with it. He lost a lot of money that day. And those people that do those promotions and stuff, and but nonetheless, hey, we love our content creators. But yeah, so social media crashed that day, and so after that, like, it was like once it kind of got booted back up, something happened like the next couple of days, and all you saw were these red flags. So I'm on Twitter a lot. And so on Twitter, the red flag thing had started already. So of course, those of you that know Twitter or that have done Twitter, there's the black Twitter and then there's the regular Twitter. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying that there's 2 separate apps or that there's 2 separate things. Literally, depending on who you follow, you might get to the black Twitter, or you might get to the black, you might get to the regular version. So I follow a lot of folk, and you follow a lot of these artists and stuff. You'll see that they will go hop in the black Twitter every now and then. And the black Twitter trend is hilarious. So one day they started doing the red flags, and it was hilarious. It was a little more vulgar than what was happening on Facebook. Because that's just Twitter is that place to be you, and just there's no, it's not public, so you can't, lose your job over Twitter. Like you can Facebook. So nonetheless, they started with these red flag captions. And so to answer Danny's question, it's basically signs that you see in a relationship or a friendship. So you know how like back in the day, your parents used to be, that's a sign. Our parents used to say that's a sign. Our generation is like, that's a flag. That's as we got into mental health and therapy and whatnot, we'd be like, child, that's more, this is a flag, baby. That's a flag on the play. So they started this whole thing with the red flags. And what was crazy is I actually didn't even know this red flag emoji existed until 2.5 weeks ago. And there was a post that I had saw that took me out that said, baby, I thought this was the bloodstained banner.
Yeah, that did it for me too. I was like, "Hey, my God, go ahead."
It's just,
I was so done.
You can't outdo black people.
You cannot. You literally cannot. Somebody find my friend Darrell J. Hunt and tag him in this. He has coined that phrase, and I tell Darrell all the time. I says, Darrell, y'all look him up at Darrell J. Hunt loves you, or either on Instagram he is noon T, spelled just the way I said it.
But see, that is one place where you don't want to find yourself trending, because they gonna do it.
I mean, drag.
Listen, Twitter will drag you, and we will get to the dragging a little later on in this show about what Twitter is currently dragging the folks on right now. It's coming, y'all. Those of you that watch Insecure, stay tuned. We're making our way down there shortly. So this red flag trend, basically, it was hilarious to me on Twitter. I thought it was just super funny. It was just some really great stuff that was hilarious. So, yeah. So, but of course, Facebook catches everything late. So it went from Twitter to the Instagram stories, and then it made its way to Facebook by like Wednesday, Thursday. We had already been going for like the weekend through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then here comes the Facebook folk like, oh, let's join in. And so it became a thing. And some of them were funny. A lot of them were stolen. And that's, y'all know how Facebook do. One person just writes it down and then it keeps going and whatnot. So it is what it is. But I thought it was hilarious. There were, and a lot of it was, I think somebody made a post and said, a lot of y'all making the red flags, you are the red flag. And I was like,
Yeah, that might be true.
I think what I enjoyed most about its transition over to Facebook was that it wasn't just red flags for relationships. It wasn't just red flags for dating. It was like red flags in general. Like my musician friends were going ham. We don't need to practice. I think we got it. Red flags, red flags, red flags. Turn me up in the monitor a little bit. Red flags, red flags, red
I
flags.
posted
I
that one.
stole one. I saw it on
Just flow with me. Just follow me to the organist. No, red flags, red flags.
You said, what you said?
No, I stole mine off. I posted one from Instagram that said I have no red flag. I'm perfect.
You don't have any red flags? You perfect?
I'm perfect.
Red flags, red flags, red flags.
I think he kind of believed that too when he saw that.
I believe it. I believe it. I receive it. I receive it. I believe it.
I am scared. That's almost as good as I got a check. Okay.
Hey, go ahead. Oh yes, I do. Oh yes, I do. Oh yes, I do. But it was the thank you, Jesus. Oh, thank you, Jesus.
So I got a question.
David's giving you the red flags.
With the red flags and many people posting them, I wonder what their experience was with it that they had to post about it. Because I think that some of the red flags, especially when you share it, that really hit hard with you. So is it something that you experienced? Is it something that you're like, man, yeah, I should have paid attention more to it? Or is it me? Because I was just reading some of them. I was like, if they sharing this, that was really resonated with them and they really feel strong about that.
I think that was the point. Like on Twitter, that's what started. Give us some relationship advice. What kind of things you notice in past relationships that were red flags for you that maybe you missed, and now that you're a little older and past that out of that situation, you can look back and say, "Oh Lord, that's a red flag." Help the other people, after. I believe that's what the point of it was, but I think after a while, like you said, you can't outdo Black people. They was just trying to come up with anything that was a red.
Somebody said the tartar on your teeth. And now that is a red flag for me.
I agree. I can't even stun. I
was like, as petty as that is true. So I was like, you know what, share.
that.
You got your body done, but your teeth got backed up.
Yikes.
And then be having the nerve to kind of like blow on the coffee first thing in the morning. I don't know about that.
Wow. So that, some of them just got a lot of petty in it, but then some of them was really like, kind of coming
legit
to understanding with your relationships. Absolutely. And how often do we not listen to our own gut about it? And we just keep going. There's flags on the plate everywhere you go. So I found it delightful.
Take it somewhere.
Yeah.
The prophetess is going to take it somewhere.
Hey.
I saw a lot of red flags that immediately I was like, that's a red flag because that individual is a narcissist. And I think we miss narcissism in the beginning of relationships and confuse it for attention, affection, and love when honestly you're just being controlled, hon. And then when you finally realize that you're dealing with someone who is on that level, you're in a pretty rough place where now you need an exit strategy to get up out this relationship. You know what I mean? So, but a lot of those early red flags, I was like, definitely a red flag because that's the narcissist you dealing with. That's
right.
Yeesh.
And then some red flags was just you always wanted to say that, but you put a flag behind it so you can. That was really talking about a red flag, but
right. Oh, no, that was me. No, that was me. Yeah, it was just Yolanda said it became messy. And it became messy and shady. I agree. At some point, it was just like folks were just basically not only copying what people were saying, but were also just throwing stuff out that really made no sense. And a lot of times, it's so funny to me how things filter down through Twitter, and then once they finally make their way to Facebook, it's almost like the worst mimeograph that you could ever find. Or Egypt. Better yet, a better example is when you get that piece of music and you're doing the show, and it's like, for instance, The Wiz. The music print in has been used and copied so many times you can't even make out what some of the notes are. And that's what happens when it gets to things. So it's like it starts out good, it starts out clear on Twitter, and then it filters on down and it gets to Facebook, and it's just like, oh, it's so much clutter. I don't even know what's going on. And like, what was the real point of this again? What happened? But
absolutely.
So it's a hoot. Nonetheless, it was a time I enjoyed it. I had some funny ones. I think one that I had tweeted was church girls who wear flats, red flag.
Yes, and that thing freaked me out.
Them
That thing
feet smell like corn
freaked me
chips.
out.
DK, you all right?
That thing
Is it a certain kind of flat, or is
I can flats. I can let church girls pass with a flat if they wear a heel. Now, if it's a kitten heel, you have no business wearing a flat because you're already in the flat.
I agree. I won't go into kitten heels because I got a story about kitten heels.
I need y'all to be a little kinder to the church girls. Some of us spent 18 months on the couch for service, where we wore our Crocs and our slippers.
Listen, don't talk about
and we used to put our feet back into our holy steppers, and Jesus said, "Not today. Take them off now."
Now, if your flesh ain't rocked over, if your flesh is rocked over, they rock it to the left and to the right.
Danny, these pandemic feet, they wear gym shoes and Crocs. You hear me? That's all.
I wear all of the above. But your flesh can be sitting up like that.
If your flats look like this is the toe,
like this.
And this is the heel. If your flats look like this, don't you wear no flats to church.
If your foot side is overflowing the top, your foot
they got a little spill over.
That white meat. We can see the white meat on your flat.
And it's ashy.
Y'all get on my nerves.
And it's ashy. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Why y'all explain exactly how it be?
But you can wear some flesh. You know, you got you some good old flesh that's supportive. You know, looking. But you know what? Go ahead.
At least buy a pair of Tory Burch, like something,
Tory Burches, yeah.
Yeah, just
she has some really pretty flats.
Yeah, you want to rest your feet, just put them in something nice.
Yeah, if you in church for 6 to 8 hours, you're gonna need some. Oh, Jesus was saying, you right about all of that.
He did, but I'm sure it was of the highest cow leather.
Oh, flesh of heels. No kittens are wedges. They're coming against wedges in this season.
They coming against wedges in this?
No wedges.
I mean, wedges is a summer shoe, spring, summer, right?
Wait now. There's a difference between a wedge and an espadrille. There are wedges that are fall and winter shoes. An espadrille is a wedge that is a summer spring shoe. Come on, wait now. Y'all know I love shoes now. We can talk shoes all day if y'all want to talk.
So I don't know nothing about it. I got some Crocs. I got some Uggs. I got some heels. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell y'all talking about right now. I got one pair of gym shoes and one pair of dress shoes.
But it's the Jesus wore slingbacks. He lotioned that heel. Hey, my Lord.
Listen, Dave, that was the special shoe at the wedding. That was the heel. I mean the slingback.
I can't stand a slingback or open toe shoe.
Listen, I hate a mule and I hate slingbacks. A mule, slingbacks, and kitten heels. Deaf to shoes. They should not
and
be.
Fred, that foot is slide to the front of that shoe, and the toes look like this.
You know what?
Not the stack.
It's terrible. I hate it.
When Judgment Day come, and if they playing this clip, I'm cussing out everybody up there because I already know where I'm going.
Listen, I get up there and I think about Dave saying Jesus had on slingbacks. I ain't gonna make it because I'm gonna look at his feet like, what? He was right.
They called it.
I'm getting kicked out before I even get in.
It's like those posts that say, it's like the posts that say, do y'all think Jesus was musty? And then somebody said, do y'all think Jesus had ashy feet?
Nope. See,
he was perfect in all his ways.
My Savior was melanated and moisturized.
He didn't have. Let's see. Miko said that walk by at. My Savior didn't have that. He had a walk by at.
I know he did not. Okay.
I'm hollering. Okay, y'all.
All of this is red flags. Go ahead, Fred.
All of these are red flags, y'all.
Absolutely.
Kitten heels, red flags. flats that look like this. Red flags. Slingbacks without lotion. Slingbacks without lotion are red flags. Mules are red flags. Those
Baby,
are all
shiny sequin shoes on dudes with painted red bottoms. Red flags.
I can tell you work with the little people, because don't you make your way to no one's high school, honey, because they stepped out for homecoming. They was
You
stepping.
saw them shoes. They put some glitter on in themselves.
I mean, literally went in the house and said,
and painted their bottom.
Y'all
They said everybody paints on Amazon. And them little sugars did it up. I give them an A+ for creativity.
That's right.
For creativity.
Yes.
It's where they live. You trying. You making the best of the situation. You got.
Said, I even made shea butter. You go ahead.
Okay.
I know he did. I know he did.
I believe
I know he used the shea butter. I know that he did.
I totally believe that. I totally do. Okay, y'all. We're going into our next segment. This red flag and these shoes done took me down. So we are jumping over to our political segment. Y'all know what this is called. FTP. This is the segment that our own Deshaun Simmons takes over. And he gives his FTP of the week. I believe Egypt has come up with a theme song for the FTP.
I wasn't ready.
I don't know why I crack up every time that post.
Because it blesses you. Because it blesses you. Because at least twice a week you have a moment where you're looking at somebody and you just want, you know what? I know that. I know you do, okay? You work in the educational field. Whether it's another teacher, a fellow pedestrian, I know at least twice a week you have a moment where you look somebody in their face and you just want to say, you know what?
I do, but it was how quick the damn logo
The
came.
image came up. That logo. That's what it
I was like, I looked down and I said, oh.
FTP.
FTP.
All right, well, y'all go ahead and take it.
Go ahead, Deshaun.
Go ahead.
So,
Deshaun in Egypt.
Who's on the list?
We got Joe Biden.
Oh.
Right now, Joe Biden gets a D+ for me.
Okay.
You want to know why?
Please.
Because Joe Biden's a pussy.
Them fighting words.
Oh no, Joe.
Here's my thing. You literally saw for the last 4 years how the Republicans have been playing. And you trying to, I understand that you're moderate, Mr. Joe. Understood. But you got yourself up at on your speech and said to the black people, I got you. And what are you doing now? We're in October. Now I gave you a little grace. When folks started talking mess in April, I said, I'm gonna give them a little time. I'm gonna give them a little time. And I may still give him a little time. But for now, it does not seem that he's going to get aggressive anytime soon. We have primaries coming up in 2020. And let me let you know now, if you don't do anything in the next 1 month, you will lose, because you will lose the black vote, because black people are not going to vote. I think I told y'all this the last time. Black folks will let you lose like they let Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton could have easily won. So I'm gonna give them a month. I do understand the government a little bit more, and as well as you all, we understand the government a little bit more than your average person, posting on Facebook. They don't even know how many branches of government we have or what they're called. So we don't listen to those people. So yeah, that's my take. Go ahead, Egypt.
Am I giving you a new person to FTP, or you just want my opinion on Joe?
Say that again.
Am I giving you a new person to FTP, or you want an opinion on Joe?
I want both. I want a new person, and
a new person and my opinion on Joe. I agree with you. Joe ain't did enough. Uncle Joe ain't did enough whatsoever. But I will say this. I don't know if it was as much as Black folk didn't vote, and that's why Hillary didn't win, as much as it was white women absolutely voted for Donald Trump. 53%. Let us not forget.
They sure did. They did.
Let us not forget.
And let me give you this little nugget here. Mm-hmm. They voted for Obama the first 2 times.
They did. They did.
So I'm gonna let y'all gather that up for a little bit.
They did. You ain't never, ever, ever lied. So you went large for your FTP. I'm gonna go a little smaller and local for my FTP.
Don't you come from my auntie Egypt?
Lori, get on the right foot, light foot. Ain't it now? What's she doing? Now you're in the whole fight with the what their names is. Oh wait, is they acronym FTP too? The police? Is that their acronym too?
I'm gonna tell you how she's getting ready to get her victory. They're getting ready to run the FOP president against her. It's over with. It's done. And hopefully, when that happens, we'll be able to see what she can really do post-pandemic. I feel like, again, I'm keep saying this. I feel like she should have a fair chance. Go ahead, Egypt. That's just my
I feel like my girl ran for her one term so she can move on to greener pastures. There's a plan in place. She has no desire to be the mayor of my city. She has no desire to run this city, because if she did, as long as you've been in office, you would at least understand the rules of engagement by now. She still ain't holding doggone meetings properly yet. She still ain't following protocol. And not on some, I'm shaking up the system, F your protocol because things need to be changed. No, it's like you just don't know. Somebody got to tap you on your shoulder and say, that's not how it works. We have to do this first. Like you don't study. You're not going to study. You're not going to learn your job. I'm out here making the kids study. You're not going to learn what you're supposed to do. You're not going to try
Somebody said it best. You know, I think Lori Lightfoot being a Black woman, we expected her. And this is with all of the Black mayors around the country.
Okay. Talk to me.
We know our Black women. We run the show. They run the show a different way.
A different kind of way.
And the thing is, you came off of 25 plus, longer than that, 30 years of 2 white male mayors. She's a Black woman. And so I think what's happening is, what she telling you is, you ain't finna come in here and talk to me no any kind of way. You're not gonna run me. And I'm gonna tell you something. You want to know that video that was leaked when the police bust in on the woman? They tried to can her for that. No, she was like, no. Per my emails.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was very shocked that didn't turn into something. It just
She did not know. They had no proof. She didn't know. They sent her. I read all. It was like 47 pages of emails. I read them all. I want to see. God damn it, Lori! Did you miss when they told you? They said it was real bland. It was like a basic. Hey, we got another. Cobb did this. She said, okay, send me over the info. They never did.
Wow.
And so when she found out that Monday, she's like, no, y'all didn't tell me this. She didn't know. And so you know them. You know how crooked Chicago is. They would have been canned her. They couldn't.
All right. Well, shout out to her for having her receipts, but I still ain't pleased with her work. She ain't
I give Auntie Lori, I give her a C-. Like I say, like I talk about Joe Biden being aggressive. You got to get aggressive with this violence. It's too much. That's a non-negotiable for me. Like, what are you prepared to do now?
Agreed.
So
maybe not even full FTP for both of them, because we still got faith and hope for them. But right now, just do better.
It's little, it's minimum. But I'm telling you this: if they run that FOP president against her, she's gonna get another. She's guaranteed another term. I'm letting y'all know now.
I would be forced to agree, Sean. As usual, it's always a pleasure, sir.
Always a pleasure.
The FTP is always a great segment of mine. I enjoy
y'all go ahead.
It's just it's so great every week.
Who do people say they giving a finger to? Anybody got some FTPs out there?
Yeah, the people that have one.
It was just me. I like
Dan.
toasted coconut donuts, and they don't have it at Dunkin' Donuts no more. So I was mad about that.
This then FTP Dunkin' Donuts. How you just gonna take something off the menu?
Go ahead, Danny. Go off on Dunkin' Donuts. Go.
It probably been off the menu, but I just started back eating donuts because I backslid. I was mad about it. So that's it's always a ram in the bush. They don't even have it no more. So you know what?
I'm hollering. That's funny. Well,
I feel like it should be also an honorable mention for the whole front staff, coaching staff, and front office of the Bears, but I didn't want to get nobody all in their feelings.
Yeah,
they FTP all of them, okay? I'm talking about from McCaskey all the way down. She like 172, and FTP her too.
My Lord.
Well,
I am 3 and 4 in my fantasy league. Get it together.
Well, here's hoping for this Sunday.
Bear down. All right.
Oh.
Oh no. Don't do it. Miss Seeley, don't do it. Miko.
Oh my. Oh no. Hoy.
Just be patient. Be patient.
You talking about you hope it ain't. I hope it is. I hope she is talking about the things that she spit out of her body and created, because sometimes you got to tell them too.
There you go. Tell me y'all got roommates. Please
you ain't
tell
wrong.
me y'all got roommates.
Oh, God. That's so funny, though.
Well, as we wind our way down, we are making our way. We are winding our way on down this wonderful show. It's been great so far. Again, there's still time to share. We're about to head into our last segment of the night, which is Wine and Recap. I do not have the logo. I don't know where it is, but we are heading into our last segment. And Danny and I, before we started Cultish, Danny, I, and Bree, shout out to Bree.
She's doing big things.
Doing amazing things in LA. She's working on the Warner Brothers set right now. And she told me, I can't do it unless it's on the weekend. And I was like, oh. So she's going to pop in from time to time with like a video, like a 1-minute replay of her Wine and Recap of Insecure. So we're going to continue with that, and that's just going to be a segment on Cultish. So those of y'all that were fans of Wine and Recap, come on in. We welcome you with open arms. It hurts. I was working out the other day. So y'all, we started season 5.
Final season
5, y'all. Oh, okay. See you,
Yolanda.
Right,
Yolanda.
If you have not seen Insecure yet, the new season, first episode that happened on Sunday, we will reveal some stuff. So this is going to be spoilers. So head on out. Thank you for tuning in thus far, and chime in with us next week, because we're going to be back next week.
Come on in.
All right. So it is season 5. I thought that was so clever that the hashtag would be season 5, and half the people spelled it wrong, because half of the correct spelling was trending on Twitter, and then the other half was trending on Twitter as well. I said, some of y'all did not understand the did not understand the assignment.
So wait, what was the hashtag?
Season 5. So SESONB, like BYEVE. and it was 2 separate hashtags. It was rather funny on Twitter on Sunday. I was laughing hilariously. So we have kicked off the final season. Deshaun is not an insecure watcher, but the rest of us are. So he gonna sit through this.
But Deshaun, it's so culturally relevant. You'll be able to jump in on conversations. Trust me, you will.
Facts. It's very culturally relevant. So
I say go and start to awkward black girl on.
Oh baby, because the original.
Well, I take that back. I watched season 1, I believe, and I got the gist of it. But I didn't watch the latest one. So
yeah, I feel like before we jump into the season's discussion, as I kind of not recap the season, but just kind of give a overall. I was telling my aunt today, we were talking about the show, and she's an AKA. We'll get to that in a second. So we were talking about the show, and I was telling her, I said, I looked at as they did like the preview, the trailer for the entire season. And so I was telling her, I said, what's crazy is I said, I think this is going to be a show almost like a Friends or like Living Single, Martin, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. When those shows went off, I cried. It was like an ugly cry. And so I feel like the same might happen with Insecure. We've known these characters for the last 4 years.
Right.
Now 5. So yeah, like I really feel like a lot of that, we've seen them grow, we've seen them fall out, we've seen them fall in love. So I almost feel like these characters are a part of my life. A lot of the characters resemble a lot of me, a lot of people in my life. So I really this farewell season is probably gonna be one that I'm gonna struggle through a little bit. I kind of got a little caught up on Sunday. But yeah, you guys can feel free to chime in at any moment.
I would say this season, the first episode, hilarious.
It was. It was hilarious.
Hilarious from beginning
to end.
Like literally, I was just like, I didn't. It's always been hilarious. And the one thing I have loved about the whole series, how consistent it is with that awkward humor.
Yes.
And so it was just good. Like, it was good to see people like, oh shit, my friends are back in town. Like, like Fred was saying, like you see so much of yourself in these characters. Like, no matter from Issa to Condola, like there is something, a little bit of you in part of, you've done or can identify with all of these characters. And it was a hilarious episode, beautifully written.
Yeah,
I think just the reminiscent of college. So I think the whole just of it. So like, I think I went to college 23 years ago. I'm sorry, I'm old. And it was just, that's everything that they did. That's how you feel going back on campus. It's just like, wow, you have, and the way that they had the different friends and the different sets, and your boo, you may have, should have went. And first of all, I ain't hooking up with no more college babes. I'm just gonna say that. But you had that. You got your friend that you should have really kicked you with, but y'all kick you with, and see she's still on the same type of stuff. And just reminiscing and thinking about where you should be, what you have accomplished, what you may not have accomplished. And it just kind of gives a chance to be around people that you may not talk every day. Like, I have several friends that I met during college. If I call them today, we can pick up from stuff that happened 23, 22 years ago, because we have a joint way of being. And I think that episode captured everything, as well as taking us through the journey of the friendship of Issa, and what's her name? Molly. And they're just their efforts. And then, of course, I share my favorite part of the episode when we get there. But it was just so many catch lines that you just have to draw yourself in. Like, wow, this is like a whole vibe and experience. So I just think that was a good way to start the show. It has like some gaps, but you quickly got it. because like stuff kind of fast forwarded for me. I was like, wait a second, did I miss something? But then as I watched it, I said, okay, now it's all coming together. So I think it was cleverly put together.
I think my favorite thing about the whole series in whole is that I leave every episode feeling seen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's really hard to find television consistently where it's like, I can relate to that. Thank you for saying that out loud for other people to see. Yeah. Especially Issa's reflection mirror antics. Oh, like,
yes.
Like because I did start with the web series that she had beforehand on YouTube. One of my friends put me on, and I was like, this little girl is crazy weird, and I love her because this is the kind of weird that I am. Yeah. And it's nice to be seen. I definitely talk to my reflection in the mirror. I definitely prep myself before I do things as if though somebody's going to holler places in 5. That's how I live my life. And I just feel like Issa sees me. And I appreciate that not only do I see me, but I see my friends. I see my family. I see other people that I know. And I appreciate that so much. So I'm with you, Fred. I probably am going to be very heartbroken come episode 10 that my friends won't come and visit me once a week anymore.
Facts. I agree. And it's funny because I got this little page of notes here about the show. I always watch it live because I love to live tweet and engage with everybody on Twitter with what's happening and just like see who's on the same wavelength or whatever. And then I go back and rewatch it like typically on a Monday so I can get the recap together because sometimes there's things that you miss and there were things that I missed. In this first episode. And even though it's 32 minutes, they gave us 32 minutes, y'all. So I'm typically we used to that 20 minutes or those, So, but nonetheless, so I mean, let's just dive right in, y'all. I'm gonna start with Kelly's death.
Yes, that's my favorite part. Dead Kelly, memorialized Kelly.
I really feel like that's a metaphor. I really felt like it was a metaphor because a lot of times as they were reading what she was, but now what was funny to me is how Issa had gave the comment and they had put it in. They had
right.
Issa D. I was like, did you not know what it was for? Like, what? This is funny. But I really felt like it was metaphorical, her death, because I do feel like you do become a whole new person once you leave college. Mm. And coming back to that, you come back anew. And I think that at the jumping to the end, when they had that memorialization scene where she was with the pancakes and they was, it was a moment.
I thought she had dad for real. And that was a whole show. And she was just there as a ghost or something. Because, Issa would do some stuff like that. She talked to a mirror.
Would.
I was like, they threw this girl off. Go ahead.
Right.
But pancakes?
Over some pancakes, okay. Right. But what I found interesting about that pancake scene is she got a chance to hear some words of affirmation from her friends that she maybe needed to hear years ago when she was in college or as she grew to these friendships. So for me, that was the most hilarious thing. And I have been to a reunion where people be like, "Oh, we thought your dad." Not me in particular, but somebody else.
I'm about to say you dad.
Oh no!
People dad that ain't never dad before.
Never
dad before.
Listen,
you look real good to be dead.
Fred, I am absolutely with you though on that whole needing those affirmations, because remember the scene in the car where she made the statement, "Is everything I do to y'all a joke?" And then they pan her face for that. And that's the first time in 5 seasons we've ever seen vulnerable Kelly.
Yeah.
Like she legit was questioning her existence to her own people. My people think I'm a joke. I know that I'm funny and I'm hilarious, and random strangers think that I'm hilarious, and maybe acquaintances, but my people, I was in the band the whole time I was here. They didn't do nothing.
She played everything.
No toot for me. I got it. I totally understood
Yeah.
that. And I wanted to hug her in that moment. Like,
I felt seen, very much so.
and I'm glad they had that moment over pancakes for her, because you're correct.
Right.
I think she needed that affirmation.
She needs those affirmations. Yeah. DK, your thoughts?
I looked at it. Y'all, with it being the last season, I'll be like, y'all better not tell me in episode 2, because this shit is happening so fast, that Kelly has this like incurable disease and
right,
like, and will die. Like,
No,
I'm just like, I, Dekevius Wilson, I will not be ready for that, because Kelly is my favorite character of the show.
The best.
She's made all of these seasons, you know? And so and then from the flip side of it, is just kind of like, low-key, Kelly has been there for every single one of those individuals in a neutral sense. And I don't think no one has really gave her flowers, you know, for being a great friend. Because you saw Molly went to her and be like, how did you and Tiffany, you know, get back together? She said, it is an uphill battle, it's an everyday situation. And I laugh at jokes that ain't even funny. And it goes to a joke that wasn't funny. And it was just like, that's Kelly. So I think it was good for her to hear those affirmations, because she needed it. That was the first time that they ever spoke well of her in 5 seasons.
Facts.
Which is really kind of I don't know if it was done purposely, but the way they're wrapping it around in this first episode, like, we saw Kelly tell Issa, girl, you is broke and you not planning correctly. Let me get your finances together. We saw her do that for her friend. While she's the silly, crazy, funny one, she still made sure everyone was set up structurally and correct. She came with her check for the benefits. She donated in that season. She made sure that she's doing her part as a friend, but she is the wild one of said bunch. And so I was with you though, DK. That ending with her and that podcast introduction, I was like, no, Kelly sound like she.
This is it. Like, this is what she leaving the world. And I'm like, yo, this better not be the case.
I got a question.
Be able to handle that.
Is she? Because I'm gonna watch it. Is she seeing anybody now?
Kelly?
No.
She broke up with
Contrail. That's what she said. Her Contrail broke up.
That's her character. Is she dating anyone? Her character?
Yeah. I'm talking about Issa. Is Issa dating anyone now?
We're gonna get
to that. You just stay tuned. I think with Kelly, for me, I think that she now found a purpose to capture her life, so she won't be missed. So that's why I didn't get too scared with the podcast, because I think that's a way that she can kind of see the fruits of her labor. Now, Kelly has always been, she give it to you. She's consistent. She's funny, but she says she means what she say. And you see, even when Molly asked her, you know, how did y'all get it back? Issa, one of them, I forget. You know, how did she get back with into her friendship? And she has solid advice. And just for me, I know people think of me as being funny, goofy, whatever, but then I got some serious stuff to me too. You know, so it's balancing it off. But I really do believe that maybe she's taking this as an opportunity to ground herself. Anytime you go back to college and you go back in that way, it makes you like, man, you know, I had this experience here. What have I done to grow? You know, 10 years or something. I'm coming off of 23 years. Going back, I was like, really, what has been the difference now? What do I have to show? And I think by them having a pancake breakfast, which I think we need to sit down and do, as a collection of friends, where you can really reflect on where you are and where you need to go, and it can inspire you, like it did Kelly, to do a podcast, to do a way of understanding, you know, her growth, and she can see it internally, so she don't have to question her contribution to society.
Was I the only one who, after they watched the episode, went to Amazon and Spotify to see if
it's really there?
Real? Because, you know, Insecure is good for that, because I want to see, what's your questions? Kelly, what are your questions? Pretty preguntas. What you talking about over here? Because, you know, they'll do that, though. You know, they be having the extra stuff, because I can't wait to see what we're watching on TV this season.
Yeah, facts.
Right. Did they ever get free?
Right.
Did they ever find her in that Camry?
Yeah, they found her. She came back. They found her.
Did they?
It's a whole episode. Yep.
I got to go look at it.
Okay, we got to go find that. It's so much with this show. I'm gonna
It is. I love a show within a show.
Yes, yes. But maybe to your point about her going back to college and looking at where you've come and where you've been, I think that was everybody's story.
Everybody, yeah.
That was the whole cycle for the whole group, taken in different perspectives. Like you saw what's Amanda Seale's character's name? You saw her and her husband have the moment of seeing the other kids, like, should we about our kids? You know what I mean? And then you got Molly debating, did I really not give him a chance? What was that relationship like in college? Then you got Issa sitting on that panel like,
listen.
I just wanted to hug her too. Like, I just, at least multiple times in the episode, I just be wanting to hug them. Like, you just come here. You is smart. You is kind. You is important.
As a person that sit on panels and sometimes you don't seem like you get it all.
You belong. It's like, why am I up here with
I
these?
be like, why did y'all tell me to get up here and talk?
Right.
They do it to me, Danny. They do it to me all the time. I'll be like, I teach music. This nigga got 5 master degrees, a PhD, and he opened 6 schools. Why we together?
Yeah, I mean, it was just, I think
He
all
bought
of
those.
all of it was just a capture. And what the show was so brilliant is like, it's setting us up so we can see what their next life is, and we get to see a little capture of it in this last season of where they're going to go. So I thought that was really neat. We saw where they were going to go with themselves, where they was going to go professionally. Issa and that whole Brandon thing.
The blow CC finna blow up.
I'm gonna tell you this.
If we want to go there, we can go there now. Issa.
I'm gonna tell you this. What took me down in that was she said, I blew it with the logo. And for me, a person who works in graphics, I was like, you have no idea.
Because she did.
She did.
The blow CC.
But that's the way they pronounce it, block C. Block.
I was like, bruh, this is crazy. So okay, as we're trucking along, we're gonna hit some quick highlights. The Cheyenne.
Child. And you know that's the maid from Tyler Perry's. I know you don't know Fred. Tyler Perry's President show. Because I was like, now I know her face. Who is she? She is the maid from the Oval, and her character is so reserved. So when I seen her drop it down low doing splits and stuff, I was like, that is the maid, the wife, the head maid. So it's good to see, our Black actresses, going on to different things because her character.
It's nice to see diversity. That's good.
Yeah, they got some Tyler Perry actresses. You go ahead, Issa. You go ahead and get Tyler Perry actresses.
No,
but
her hair looked better in this episode. Her hair looked a lot better and Insecure than they do on the Oval.
That whole situation the entire time during that scene, I kept thinking to myself how she told why can't I remember Amanda Seale's character's name?
Tiffany.
Thank you. Tiffany told them that they had never seen a track after they done made their little rap group.
Yeah.
I promise you immediately I said, kick that nigga's gun and get up out of there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the Chicago in me was like, pow, and go. This ain't no robbery. He ain't even no robber. It just didn't feel right.
Just walk off. He probably had no bullets in there.
And I still, why are we not fighting her?
It was the way that she screamed and everybody stopped and looked like, what the hell is going on? And he just like, man, it was just that scene, and she got the shoes, and Issa was like, you want mine?
Issa had on them church sweats we was talking about earlier.
That she did. Those greenbacks, and we're not sure if her heels were lotion.
Block meal. Awful. Yes. There was a very interesting tweet about that scene that I had saw. I actually retweeted it. So a friend of mine, he said, what's funny is that, and a lot of people didn't catch it because I didn't catch it until I read the tweet, and I was like, oh wow, that is very kind of cool work. So whoever did the writing of the script or coming up with the character, so her name was Shyla Tan, and they called her Cheyenne for short. So, Cheyenne for short. So what's funny is that the tweet said, what's funny is the girl's name was Charlatan, which is a play on words of a charlatan.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought that was so clever because it was like this girl who basically, she's a dancer, and she did this whole bit about, oh yeah, I'm in the video with Swati, but then you robbed the kids 2 hours later. And then you were overacting. So for me, it was just very like, this is hilarious to me. This is super funny to make that connection of a charlatan and then her name be literally Charlatan. So I thought that was hilarious. Very good.
They do well with that character development over there on Instagram.
They do. They
Shout
really
out to Issa and Prentice for absolutely making sure characters get developed, even if they are the smallest of characters. I mean, because we done delved into some Uber drivers.
Yes. Security bay.
Security bay.
So I thought that was a hoot. And then let's get down to the not full nitty gritty, but the nitty gritty of the Issa and the Molly. I've been in a situation as such. And I remember Danny, I shared last season when we were doing Wine and Recap. There were some friends that I was very close to that we did not talk, and that we're back before we're really backstage for real does exist. It really exists. That's a thing.
Definitely does.
It's definitely a thing, and so I totally was just like, yeah, this is totally it for me. Like I was like, yeah, no, and it does take a while to become, back before you really back. So.
And I really felt like my favorite part of the show is, I know you said we got 32 minutes, but I feel like we got 32 minutes because at least a smooth 8 of those minutes were silence.
Yeah.
There was a lot of awkward silence in this episode that I really enjoyed because that's truth. Because when you're in that kind of a situation with someone you've been so close with, and now you've had a falling out and you're trying to figure that thing back out again, each person is worried about, will I say something that's too far?
Yeah.
Right. We still joke like we used to. How mad are you still from the situation that we fell out about? That can I still say things that we used to say years before this falling out? So I think that awkward silence was both of them trying to just monitor words. Like, I'm being silent because I'm being carefully choicey about what I say because I do want this to go back together. I think both of them really do want to be friends again. But
then you had the push to kind of to get it back together with the fake mugging. So that's, I think at the end when they kind of could laugh, and that was like a sign of back. Because they just had a situation which forced them, to get it back together. I know friendships are strained. I know I silence myself. I just don't have too much to say because I don't want to say the wrong thing, nor do I want to hear the wrong thing. So I just can be silent and kind of distance myself until I'm able to have the capacity to re-engage. And I think that I applaud Molly and Issa for trying. That they're trying to get it together. I think Molly was supportive. She was supposed to go somewhere and she didn't, right? So she decided to stay on with her. I thought that was a really a good choice for her to do. So that shows that she was making some effort. But in the past, she didn't do that. She would have been like, I'm going with you.
But I feel like that was a catch off of what Kelly had just said.
Yeah.
Like that whole scene, what she said is like, what the hell is Kelly talking about? Do she still got both of her big toes? I've never seen it, but I want to know. Like, what, Kelly? What? But I think she really did. I love her. But I think she really did hear her other friend, like, what does she need right now? Yeah. And that was right after the panel. I'm looking at my friend who feels like she bombed. I'm looking at my friend who feels less than, who thought this was going to be a different situation than the outcome did. Like, because Issa went into that thing like, I'm official. I got
flu. She got flowed
I'm
out.
gonna be on the piano. And then she left the
out.
panel like, why the hell did they ask me to be on the panel? And I think she looked at her friend's face like, you want to hang, girl, I can tell you need something. And this is what my other friend told me to do. Find out what it is that you need. That's the only way we're going to get back into where we were.
Yeah,
and it's reciprocal. So I know that I'm in a point in my life, if you don't have reciprocal, I support some of everybody that I feel close to. If you don't do that for me, I'm not about to keep on sowing seeds in you. So, I think that that's one thing that I think they kind of struggled with, because they both thought that they was doing something more than the other one. And I hope now that it's balanced and now that they know that it is being received as well as it's been given. So I think in my life, that's one thing that resonated with me with watching the episode, is that I'm going to try to make sure that it's reciprocity. You know, that I'm around and surrounding myself with people that's going to pour into me, and notice moments where I may need that. So notice a moment where I need to have a pancake breakfast because I need to be reassured, laughing because we just got robbed, or, just kind of listening to me and hearing me. Even the stuff with Tiffany and her husband and trying to find the tree with their love. We listened to them. Did you ever find the tree? Whatever you need. They even listened to them and encouraged them their relationship. So it was all with the things that was very important to them. And I think in this episode, everybody kind of listened and then downplayed each other's shit. So I really did appreciate that.
Everybody going up. Well, that's why this the last season, because it seems like they're getting ready to not be so insecure anymore.
Right. Finally.
Everybody's doing the work and getting the help that they need. So it won't be interesting.
Right.
Yeah. And it makes total sense. I know Danny and I had this conversation. And we were saying that, it makes sense that that they would end the series now, because it's how much more insecure can you be? Eventually, you got to start doing work and work on yourself.
Yeah.
So
you got to start working in her.
Right. Absolutely. Now, the thing is this, we might get a spinoff. We just might get a spinoff of something else. So
the question is, what would I want to see spent off from that?
I would love to see a Kelly spinoff.
That's about it.
Now, with all this positive stuff we talked about,
one
thing, and we're going to move it along because the hour is drawing near.
I was drawing, baby. I was drawing.
Out of all this greatness we talking about, then we get this letter thing. Now, Tiffany's character, first of all, let me just give it a round of applause to whoever's over costumes, who's ever over clothing. I mean, because everybody... Issa looked good. Whatever that little one-piece onesie she had on at that little party mix.
It was very cute, wasn't it?
It was sharp.
The
Gucci pink and green.
It was sharp. It was very sharp.
Even the Gucci blue that Kelly had on.
You say what now?
I said even the Gucci blue that Kelly had on.
Gucci blue. I was getting that next. All of the Gucci selections.
That was too fly.
They did the Gucci trying to get themselves out there. They got out there. I think all of it, came together clever. And as Fred, he's gonna come back. Hopefully, you get the one thing that is now the talk of the week, which is the improper display of Greek letters. Now, being a member of a sorority for the last 21 years, the first thing that you get nailed to the cross with is how to wear your letters. The proper way of wearing your letters, how to dispose of your letters, who should not wear your letters, where you should wear your letters, how do you wear your letters, and what state of mind should you be in your letters. You have all of the ways that you have to be very cautious of how you display your affiliation with the organization. So you have a lot of strong feelings when it is disrespected. Now, to the nature of his heightened state, I don't get it. I'm just me. I have sorors that cry every time they sing the song. I don't even know the words to all the song, but because that's their shit, they was like, I'm full. And I have to respect them for that. And it's just respecting where people are. So we, of course, me, my people, my sorors, like-minded people that I went to college with, our thread was lit, about, And we all had good faith that Issa knows what she was doing. She wouldn't do that, y'all. She did ask permission. She did, people just going left. And then we got the people, well, I am a legacy and a lifelong member, and that was totally disrespectful, and I'm strong standing on it. Stop talking about it because she's disrespectful. We don't care how talented Issa Rae is. She's disrespected to everybody. And I was like, man, people are strong. So,
I shout out to wardrobe, as you said. These people work very hard to bring the show to life. I can tell that they got a lot of wardrobe budget for this season.
Baby, Gucci.
Or donations.
You got
Gucci is a sponsor.
Gucci
got
gets to be
Teflon bags. And you got Teflon bags. That's, know.
Did you see her?
Did
She
you
was
see him?
pretty. She was
epic.
really pretty.
It was epic. I was just like, go ahead. So going back to the display of the letters of the AKA, there's just been so much controversy all week long. And it's only Tuesday.
It's only Tuesday.
So much to say. And it's only Tuesday. I'm going to play a quick clip of Amanda. She literally went to Twitter and her Instagram story right after the episode because the people were dragging her specifically. So it's about 40 seconds, but she was like going off. Check this out, y'all.
I don't know why people keep asking me if I'm a soror. I am not a soror. Tiffany is a soror. Tiffany is a character on a TV show. I didn't write the character. I played the character. I'm not a soror. I'm an actress, and I'm playing a character on a TV show. And I think reality TV done really got folks fucked up because, it's like, it's all the same, but it's I'm just playing a character. That's it. Y'all know that though. But some of y'all don't. I feel like some folks really forget. Like,
now here's the thing. Amanda Seals is not the greatest person. We all know when she left the Real and why she left the Real and things like that. It was a lot. So because of that, it was a little rough. And so her character, Tiffany, they said she's been difficult to work with for the longest. So it is what it is. But at this point, this was something that I was just like, okay, you gotta, she has a point. I feel like the whole thing has been blown out of proportion. The AKAs have written a letter, which is right here. But literally, it's like, wow. Y'all, literally, are we really going this far with a character on a television show? I have questions. There's another show, and we'll probably have to pick this up next week, but there's another show. There's a show on Broadway, at the Met, the Metropolitan Opera in New York, called Fire in My Bones.
Oh, yes.
And the character, one of the main characters, he's a Kappa. And there's a whole step routine. They have on all the Kappa para. They've got the sweaters. They've got the khakis. They're literally, the choreography is step choreography. A friend of mine choreographed Beyonce's Coachella. Your frat brother, Decavius, Jamal Joseph, who was a really close friend of mine. And the people dragged him in Alpha Phi Alpha because he was out here teaching actual Greek steps that are authentic. The nigga got dragged, not to mention that the nigga was struggling to be a dancer and to be a performer and to be a choreographer. We completely forgot about that. That he now has this publicity, that he now has Beyonce on his resume. It's like, and it's the same thing to me with Issa Rae, and all this is happening with the show. We need to celebrate the fact that the show has 5 amazing Black female leads. When was the last time you saw a comedic show that had 5 female Black leads besides 227?
Now listen, we had Living Single.
Well, I mean, we had Living Single, but I mean, when you think about it, like
I was like, I said, I think we had some in the 90s, and
it's some. But I mean, but like I mean, when you think about the networks and you think about like 227 was I think on NBC, Living Single was on Fox.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So Black
HBO was a major network, like
The home box office.
yeah, you know, and it's been a major network. Oh wait, Sean, you're muted. I'm sorry.
You
Sean's
muted.
talking.
Sorry. Am I
Okay, go ahead.
Hold on. Am I muted now?
No, we hear you.
But I'm saying, correct me if I'm wrong. Coming up, I'm 32. I just turned 32. I've always seen like TV shows and movies like portray like fake fraternity and sororities. So even hearing today that they actually had like the AKAs represented was surprising to me, because I've never seen it done. Like even when we were talking earlier, and you said that somebody was like the Divine Nine was in like
different
a
world.
different world.
They were.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah,
now,
so
I
you
did see some, but they weren't real. I saw the fake ones.
No. If you are in
Go back and watch a
us
different
who grew
world,
up on different world,
you will see Kappa jackets, Alpha jackets,
like this.
Delta jackets.
All
Yeah.
in the,
And right, and so it was. I think it's just kind of, I don't know. I don't know the whole ordeal. I was kind of like on Danny's side when like, oh, it's not a big deal. Like, hey, we representing. Then I thought about the Kivius point where like, hey, your ass ain't gonna put Nike in your movie without, signing them papers. So I saw both sides.
So
and I
before
think
the letter came out, I was like, they asked permission. Issa know how to run stuff. Calm down, y'all.
Right,
The
and that's
letter
what
came out, and I was like,
I was saying. Like,
but that's what
did you
everybody
not
said.
ask permission? Like, did
Yeah.
you? We're in 2021. Do you not know
So-
like this is what you should do?
Here's the thing, and when I watched it, I said I was sitting there, and here's the thing. First, I want to say the best person who weaved real Greek life into something was Spike Lee with School Days.
Yep.
great.
That was the best one because he actually had the organizations on that campus of Morehouse and Spelman perform in the movie. That's how you do it. But when I was watching Insecure, and I was sitting there like, oh, there's no surprise she's wearing pink and green. Anybody can wear pink and green. Anybody. None of the Divine Nine organizations own their colors, right?
Oh no.
But when I saw her in the jacket, I said, wait a minute.
It was a cardigan.
It was a cardigan line. It was one of them. When I saw that, I said, oh, this is okay. Oh, okay. I said, now, if they didn't get permission to do that, and I know Amanda Seals is not a member of the organization, this is finna be some shit come tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
No, it was some shit that night. That's what I thought. Because I was like, you got a situation.
After the show, I went to bed. But
I didn't watch it live, so I heard controversy before watching the episode. So I was actually looking for the letters in the shield.
Yeah, and so I was like, all right. So I got up this morning, and the whole world was on fire. And my thing was this, like I've told multiple people, and like I was expressing to you all in our group, I said she shouldn't have been attacked at all because she's an actress doing her job. I think that it falls back on Issa and HBO, and I feel like there was someone in the room, whoever, they don't know how precious our organizations are to our culture. And so therefore, like, they just thought, oh yeah, just go on and do it. My thing was this, and I told somebody this: if they had full authorization, they would show Tiffany in full regalia. I said, somebody is hiding something. And I said, I bet you they didn't get authorization. And lo and behold, they did not. And so the thing of the matter is, if AKA said yes, we gave them authorizations to do it, then so be it. But if not, then you got to suffer the consequences with that. You just can't go and say, hey, I just want to wear your paraphernalia because I'm representing your organization and it's good publicity. Okay, well, yeah, it's good publicity, but there are like policies and procedures of you going through and showcasing my organization. And it's simple as that, at least for me.
It's still a company.
It's a business, yeah.
It's a corporation.
And just corporation, that's the better word. Thank you.
I just don't. I don't.
You're Nike. You got to pay them to use their brands inside of your footage. Why wouldn't it be the same for this organization? Go ahead,
But
Danny.
at the same manner of grace and being of the Divine Nine and knowing how important to have representation where there has not. If you look over the last 10 years, where have you seen historically Black fraternal and sororities represented anywhere?
The middle, I remember your question, Fred. Now I'm gonna tell you, my friend Danny, she is of the Divine Nine of the North. My friend Dakivius, he is of the Divine Nine of the South. And I'm gonna tell you, having living in both places, the goddamn South, take that shit serious. I had college professors, they were wearing elephant brooches every day and scarves to class. Everything. And
Now,
they did not.
Some of them folks probably had found this pledge.
They did not let you forget what sorority that they were a part of, and it was the best, and they were legacy, and their grandchildren did, and their children did it, and their nieces and nephews, versus in the North for some reason. I don't know why. I can only think about it as us being kind of like a fast-paced, area where, yeah, Danny, she pledged, Sigma Gamma Rho. Yeah, she got that, but there are some more things that are more important in life.
Well, I'm going to have to push back on you because, again, you're talking to somebody that's 20 plus years and how time has changed.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So and that goes to the point, where have you seen exposure to understanding the reason of being in sororities and fraternities? For somebody, okay, so like me, go back to the university, who works with it, who has a son who refuses to join anything because he doesn't see the relevance of it, because he's unlearned. After living in the house with me, understanding,
she does.
He says that on the campus, there is little to no attention. And you wonder why. Because there has been so many suspensions due to several different things. So therefore, there has been negative publicity associated with it. And the letters that you've seen is nothing new. We got letters all the time because guess what? Somebody was walking down the street with paraphernalia on. The presidents, the bachelors, they will send you a letter in a hot minute saying you have violated the code. They don't care. This is nothing new to what AKA sent out. All of us do that when you see letters poorly represented. Kelly Price wore big ass letters, and she's a member, and she was poor representation because she shouldn't have had her letters on. She was on a reality TV show. We don't play. But we also have to recognize things have changed. So the seriousness of some, and we have, if you looked at Diane's mom, rest her soul, she was Delta before Delta ain't no more. So you
okay.
It's not associated. It depends on the time and the manner and the place and what you're exposed to. You're no longer in a collegiate area when you're here in the North.
But what I'm saying is, Danny, is you have to take into consideration that I experienced both, and I know the drastic difference in the Divine Nine from the South and the North. I understand how many we got up here, but there's a drastic difference. They take that shit serious in the South. I'm not saying that you don't take it serious. What I'm saying is, in the life that we live up here in the North, we have a whole bunch that's of important things, whereas down south, That's like top priority. Like
it's
this, then I gotta take my ass to Sunday school, and then I gotta do this, and then everything else falls.
I mean, I think that, you know, and prior to our conversations that we had in our group about Greek life, and going to your point, Sean, is that, like, you know, the women in my family pledge they're debutantes and all this kind of stuff. That's just the culture, you know, of it all or whatever. But going back, I've just been like hearing individuals who are Greek and who are non-Greek, and you know, some AKAs are saying, like, you know, she looked good playing the part, you know, that kind of thing like that. I don't see an issue with it. And I'm like, well, there's policy and procedures for your letters. Like, I'm not understanding what the disconnect is, but I think people have just been more in the outrage of them or people attacking Amanda Seales.
That's not acceptable.
I think that's the big overarching thing. But hear this. Amanda has some friends who are a member of other sororities. So, sis, you know, whether you are an actress or not, you know. I personally, as an actor, if I was an actor, I would have felt real uncomfortable wearing somebody else's letter, knowing that I didn't earn them. Like, it's just some stuff you don't do when you don't cross.
Well, Whoopi Goldberg wore her brothers. You had Morris Chestnut was an Omega.
She did.
She wore her brothers.
Yes, she did
stuff.
on the show. Yes,
okay,
she did. They ate her alive.
Morris Chestnut played an Omega, and he's a Phi Beta Sigma. At the end of the day, money talks. I don't care what we say, because all of them, Morris Chestnut sure as hell knows. And in The Best Man, he was an Omega.
Well, I mean, you playing Omega and giving
You're playing a character.
You're playing a character.
To saying if he got permission for it or not, probably not, because there you go. Hollywood doesn't respect anything black.
No, I mean,
you know what? I don't know. That's the hill that I want to stand on. Then,
right?
Hollywood don't respect nothing black, so I'm pissed off too. Then, yes, AKA should get their money. They should have went through the proper channels.
Exactly.
They should have permission. But leave Amanda alone. She was doing.
But people gonna get paid over the ethics. So as much as I could tell my friend, don't wear this, at the end of the day, I can't pay her salary.
That's true.
So that's the deeper issue that I think we need to really kind of key in and focus in on, is why is there disrespect? Again, like I said, the letter AKA sent is something that we've all gotten because of poor representation. That's just known. The disrespect is that it's not valued and heard Hollywoodish. Because we've seen many portrayals of this, like what you guys served, whatever it is, when they was doing step, whatever that was, they still had many of that. If you looked at it, those steps was of Greek. Did they get permission to do that? Who did they pay for that?
Well,
So
and the thing is with stepping, I don't think, like, going back to your point about my frat brother Jamal, like, all of that stuff is if you pledged and you were made, you know, it came straight from Africa. So no one organization,
right. I would, and
now they might affiliate their signing to it, right? They might affiliate their signing to it,
but ain't nobody gonna do the sizzle S. That is
I'm
something
gonna tell you.
And they did that.
Point, I'll never forget. In undergrad, this was a Saturday. It was a Saturday. And me and my roommates and friend, we were all outside.
There you go.
Dumbass. I decided that I was gonna put on a step show.
Oh my!
In front of the dorm.
Oh man!
I'm out there. I'm putting my shoes to the concrete. I'm doing, and people, they just laughing and all that. But from afar, who's watching? The Omegas. Now, what I'm doing is sounding real similar to the shit that they do, but they can't do nothing because technically it's not theirs.
See,
What
and that's
they
when you was in the 0-0s. If you would have been in the 9-9s, they would have kicked you know what.
Well, that's what I'm
So
saying.
again,
That's
it
what I'm
has
saying.
changed with times.
So Danny's argument is that it's not a geographical or location thing; it's a time frame.
It's a time.
In Greek, organizations change with each generation, right?
It has to.
Because I mean, if it doesn't, no organization. If Sigma Gamma Rho didn't change over the years, they wouldn't be coming up on their centennial. You know what I'm saying?
And nobody can.
Nobody organization.
And
It's
even
just
the way of intake had to change because of the way that we have been suspended. So the rituals and some of the things and some of the ways of being and some of the seriousness had to be changed due to the times.
Yes. And here's the thing, and this is where I'm going to end it at. It's just like, listen, whoever it was in the room should have just went, because I went to the website. The email was aka1908@gmail.com. You could have sent an email from your iPad or your iPhone, right?
Yeah.
That's it. But here's the bigger thing. The bigger picture is this. We have a brother that was in Peru, Illinois, who was a member of Omega Psi Phi, who was brutally murdered. That's what we need to be harping noise on.
Exactly.
That's it.
Show you right, because
and the thing is, you can be concerned
as a suicide, saying
you can be concerned with both, right? You can be concerned with both. Your nationals went out and sent a letter. All right, they gonna handle that. Now we got to show up for this family. You know what I'm saying?
Locally.
So it's just that, I hope people, and here's the thing. I get it. If you see a non-person wearing your stuff,
you're gonna get upset.
You're gonna get upset, because I would, and I'm sure Danny would too.
First of all, I left my jacket in the church, and then y'all know who had my jacket on?
I don't want to know.
What's his Anthony? And I was like, he was like, I just ran outside to you take my. First of all, it was medium. Why would you put that on?
Medium? Did she say? Oh, I thought she said it was sweet of him. I was like,
medium. And then you gonna. He didn't know no better, but I would have been the one, because I'm telling you, they send these letters to everybody. I would have got a letter about this poor display of my letters.
They be like, they look like Danny jacket. Send a letter.
Right. But to what DK's point, there is so many bigger things. It should be applauded for just the publicity. But at the same time, just like they had checking black balances, I think Egypt, you spoke, so that people can get recognition for the music that they use. Because all of those, I bet you they have permission to use those. For Gucci on that, they have permission for those. That should be incorporated. And that's one thing that I think Hollywood lacks, is respecting all Black culture. It should have been.
And that's what it all comes down to. When I see
absolutely, Deshaun,
they gonna pay Nike ass. They gonna pay Apple. When you look on them shows and they got a fucking Apple phone and it's a pear or a banana on the back, you know
they didn't pay Apple.
They didn't pay Apple
at all.
Right. When they put that tape over it,
they put that tape.
Absolutely. Because I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I came into this conversation like, as a non-Greek, I have an opinion, and that opinion is probably not going to be popular, because who cares? Oh, some elitist, you can't be in our club shit. But when you put it in the terms of Hollywood don't respect Blacks and don't respect our corporations and don't want to fund the doc, I agree.
And that's how you gotta go, so you won't have that. And my whole thing is, you don't want that bad publicity where you can't be. Yes, you can. You can apply yourself. You can go through admissions, whatever the intake process. You can. It's just being respectful of the culture. Absolutely. I don't like how they dragging Amanda.
That's so unnecessary.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Like elitist and like.
But she didn't even write the damn script, so I don't even know what that don't even make sense to me.
Child, and the thing is, she didn't even drop anything. She didn't even say anything. What's funny is she said nothing about AKA in this particular script. It was what she just had on.
But again,
I'm
gonna
tell y'all this.
How you display that's the first thing we learned.
Going back to what the Kibia said about breaking the line earlier now, because y'all know I don't do well with disrespect. And they are.
Lord.
Some of them. I'm not going to say which one. They are some of the most disrespectful. You know what? In this world, they're just nasty because now. And you weren't nasty before you crossed.
Yes, they
You
was.
ain't act like
Yes,
that.
they was.
Yes,
That's
they
how
was.
they
This just put them on the platform.
They
Yeah,
just put them on.
they had a
Yeah.
couple of STDs.
Right.
And so
Well,
I've seen them do some things. This one girl, I'm not gonna say which one it was. She wanted me to be in a pageant.
well,
I ain't saying which one it is. She wanted me to be in a pageant. And she said, I want you to be in our pageant, I want you to do this. And I know you
Going
sing in the
somewhere.
school chorus. Can you sing can your talent be singing? I said, oh no. I said, I don't do no singing.
Ooh, the liquor
why
talking.
you sit there like her?
Like, I said, can I do something else? She was like, no, never mind. I'll find someone else. Okay, okay.
That's because she had discernment. She saw that you lied.
Deshaun, this really took you somewhere. I think we need to have a
red flags.
Danny, who you want? My schedule is full for sessions tomorrow. You want to?
But to your point, because I see where he going. You don't want to be disrespectful, and you want to be welcoming.
Just say, okay, we'll look for somebody else. She just told me, be gone. I'll find someone else. I fixed her ass.
What you do?
I was in the Zeta pageant. They literally asked me the next week.
Did you sing?
Yep.
Right? Did you sing?
My talent was, I did a poem. I did like a Langston Hughes poem or something.
I'm done.
Thank you for the segment of Insecure Recap. So you get in.
I don't know what happened.
Did you?
These one of them meetings that you leave. Like, what the hell?
Oh, he on the phone, so we never gonna know if he won.
I'm hollering. Well, y'all.
I think the Zeta called him.
Yeah,
the Zeta called him.
She watching. Well, we are over our time. It is 11:13. Okay, my Apple Watch done said, let's wind down the day 3 times.
My phone on grayscale already. It's in bedtime mode. Ain't no color on this screen.
Okay. So y'all tune in with us next week. We're gonna shave down the portion of the hot topics and pick up the portion of Insecure so we could give y'all all of this and
if we just don't have tech issues and can start on time, it'll be okay.
It'll be okay. We're gonna work.
But this podcast has been consistent because I know dated with 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah. We have been consistent on that 2-hour thing. We like it.
We might have to bump our time up to about
7. 6.
For us old people. Right. But y'all check us out next week. We'll be back next Tuesday. We'll keep you posted on the time. Thank y'all for hanging out with us tonight. If you'll see the replay, it'll be up. Season 2 will post as a podcast starting next week. So you can listen to us in the car and all of that great stuff. And by the way, I just want to just give a quick shout out to the entire team, all of y'all. This is only possible because of you guys. And then because of our fans and those that listen to us and watch us. Y'all, we've had like way over 600 downloads of our podcast last season. And we only did like 3 episodes. That's like epic. So there's people listening to us. Okay. I'm excited about that. So we have a lot of stuff coming up. We're still working on a live thing and this wine mix that we're gonna have. Right. And we're gonna do some stuff. So y'all stay with us. Tell your friends about us, add us, subscribe, like, share.
Cocktails next week, Danny? Will we have a signature cocktail next week?
Yes, we will. Yes.
So we'll be back on our regular schedule. And I believe we might have a guest next week too. So we kicking season 2 off great. Thank you all for hanging out with us. It is late. Get you guys some rest. And we'll see you next week. Until next time, have a good one.
Late in the midnight hour.
He said he don't sing. He said he don't
That's
sing.
what he saw for that Zeta show.
That's what he said. See?
Click in.
Good.